Hello, fiber fans, friends, and followers. My name is Beth, and I'm here to talk to you about all of the yarny things I've gotten into recently. Today, I will bring you up to date on my completed mystery MusiKAL, the Stephen West design, and I have some new to me things. I have some works in progress. I have no more previously recorded things, so I will be bringing you up to date on the things that I had talked about in my previously recorded episodes, and then I will also be announcing a winner of a sandy bag as well as a new sandy bag prompt. So I think that's all the things. I feel like I've just listed a whole lot of stuff and I feel like I'm missing something, but I should be able to get to it all fairly succinctly. So, crossing my fingers that I can get this done in less than an hour. I don't like to make my episodes longer than that. So, with that being said, this is the finished Stephen West Mystery MusiKAL. I did do some showing of it in a video that I recorded just a few minutes ago. So I will put that up as I talk about what it is that I did with this and the yarns that I used and everything else. If you haven't seen it, I did record a couple of shorts about this. I have found that I have more time to be able to record short videos than I do to have long form videos. So I may be doing more of that as I go on. So if you're interested in seeing the shorts, check out my channel. They are there. So with clue 1, I believe I already discussed what I did with the colors on this, where I did switch up the colors on this part. So I'm pretty sure that's in a previous episode, if not in a short that I've recorded previously. So I did decide to do that. I also switched up things in this section. I believe this was clue 2. And I decided to go with the Mohair Dare instead of my color D. So I just opted for 2 strands of the Mohair Dare as opposed to doing color D on this section of the Mystery MusiKAL shawl. I also did some switching of colors in section 3 of clue, well, it's section 1 of clue 3, but section 3 of the shawl. I changed around the way that the colors were supposed to work together because I didn't like how this mossy green looked next to this bright green. I felt like they didn't coordinate well together. So I thought that it would be a good idea to switch them up. Now, all of the color switching around happened because I made the decision to look at spoilers and see what the final product would look like because I wanted to be able to plan out my colors better, which I think it's great that we have that option in a mystery knit-along, that you can look at the colors together and figure out what you want to do. For the second part of clue 3, I also opted not to use that color D. I went with the Mohair Dare as opposed to the color D. Now, the funny thing is, with color D, I knew that I had less of color D, and I decided on clue 1, not knowing how much I would need of color D for the whole thing. You know, he tells you that you need so much of that color, but had I known that I was not going to need as much of that color because of my personal color preferences, I would not have opted to add an extra color to supplement that color. So I don't know how well you can tell, but here I'm gonna hold up one of my scallops. How do you say that, friends? Okay, so this very last strip of the mossy green is actually a different color than these previous 3 ones. So it is kind of hard to tell, but I did use a different color to supplement there, and maybe you can see the sparkle in that one. So yeah, and as I hold this closer to the camera, you can tell a little bit more. So color D for me was and that's the mossy green one. I used Holly Pressed Fiber Sheepish sock in the colorway Tintagel, and then since I didn't know whether I was going to need more of it, I think I had 93 grams of that. It was left over from another project. I had 93 grams of it, and I thought, well, that's close enough, maybe. So my contingency for that was to just do the one strip of that in a different colorway, and I had something like 20 grams of Why Not Fibers Stardust in the colorway Moss. And now I am looking for my project bag so that I can show you my actual skeins of yarn. One moment, please. Okay, I found it. You guys, this room is such a disaster. There's this pile of stuff that is like super high over here because I need to get organized. However, I found this, a candy bar, in the bag. I'm so excited. I thought I didn't have one of those left. Anyhow, okay, so this is the supplemental color D. This is the Why Not Stardust base. You can see the little flecks of gold, what do they call that? Lame comes to mind, and I know that's not the right word. Anyhow, you guys know what it is, right? And then this is the Holly Pressed Fibers Tintagel. And so what I'm showing you is the amount that I have left. Like I said, I started with 93 grams, didn't use as much of this, anywhere near as much of this as I expected to. And then I had 20 some grams of this, maybe 30. I don't remember now. And then this one, I used probably more of this than was recommended. This was Color C, Twisted Ambitions Yarn Sweet Sock in the colorway Luck. This, I got them stuck together. This is color A, and this was Purl Talk Yarns Soxxy Thing in the colorway Lagoon. This is my color, which one is this? B, Chicken Lady Fiber Arts. This is her Sparkle Fingering in the colorway Quantum Blue. And this is my Mohair Dare. It is Rowan Kidsilk Haze in the colorway 675 Bluebird. So, I have a whole lot of leftovers. I don't know what I'm going to do with those. They would make a good scrappy project all of their own, I think. I could probably do like a whole nother shawl out of that. And I know nother is not a word. Anyhow, I love this thing. It is like, it feels like a blanket. It really is. I think a good sized shawl is perfect for just cozying up under and sitting at home and knitting and loving the idea that I am wrapped up in this fancy, wonderful, cozy thing. And I probably will wear it at some point, not necessarily to work or anything like that, but if I go to some fiber related event, I will likely just throw this over my shoulders and I can walk around with it on. It's not going to drag the ground or anything like some of the other shawls that I've got. So I love its amazing coziness. So that's my Stephen West Mystery MusiKAL. Next up, I want to talk about, I haven't gotten any further in my Berroco mystery knit along, the blanket knit along. So I don't think that's all that interesting to talk about for now. So I think I may have actually talked about where I was up to this point in the episodes that I pre-recorded. So I have not gotten any further than the February squares, which I have shown you. I feel like they're really not all that exciting to look at. So there's one of those. But what I have gotten further on, and details about the Berroco Mystery Blanket Knit Along will be in the description below, despite the fact that I didn't really get into any kind of detail on that. So if you're interested, it's there in the description box. What I have been working on here and there is my Joji Locatelli La Prairie cardigan. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on to show you, because I think I did talk about this at least in part on a previous episode. So I want to show you how far I've gotten and what I'm thinking in terms of where I go with this. So I am truly loving how this fade is looking. I'm not thrilled with the striping that I've got here. However, for the most part, it has faded really beautifully. And here's where I'm at with the fit. I'm pretty sure I talked about this before, but it's up much higher in the front than in the back. So you can see it's up here and down here. So I feel like I'm ready to start doing the ribbing. And I have gone into, so color number 1, color number 2, color number, I don't know, I think there's, yeah, this is like 2, this is 3, 4, and 5 is down at the bottom. So I feel like I am ready to get into ribbing on this in the back, but I'm considering maybe doing some short rows in front. The problem with that is the texture, because I don't know how to predict what happens with the texture on this, given what it's like. There's this repeat of this texture, and is that going to be odd to try to continue it? I don't know. So here is that texture. It kind of does this wavy, ripply thing. It's a lot of fun. And if you have not seen this before, this is, it is intended to have bobbles. I have eliminated the bobbles. It has given me issues with gauge because of that, I believe. I may be wrong. Maybe that the bobbles don't affect gauge at all. But having removed the bobbles, I think I needed to add some extra repeats under the arm. So I love the look of it. The striping here is not my favorite, but I would say that this colorway is my favorite of the colors. So I'm living with that. So anyway, all of the colors are listed below. Everything from here down to about here is Herd of Cats Road Trip Sock Yarn. And then at the bottom, it is Suburban Stitcher Sock in the colorway Starstruck. So this one has been my 2-row a day pattern that I work on because it is one of those that takes a lot of focus. So that's it for that. That brings you up to date on my summer things that I was doing, and now I am here in a different place on that. I think what I want to do is go ahead and cut to my sandy bag. I decided to record the other night. I wanted to get my recording out there to the world, and then I decided that I didn't like the lighting. I didn't like how I was timing things. I felt like I was trying to rush before the sunset, and I just thought, you know what? Wait till Saturday, record, it'll be good. So I did do my drawing on that day. So I'm going to cut to that, and then I will come back and give you our next sandy bag prompt. Okay, the sky has gotten completely dark. It's an overcast day. It's supposed to rain all night. We're working in the dark, but fortunately I have my lamp over in the corner. I hope that's enough light for you to see what I am doing. So again, this is for this sandy bag. This is a tote bag that is made by my friend Sandy. She makes these for podcasters. They are lovely, nice sized tote bags. They will carry all of your things, and there's a pocket on the outside. There's a pocket on the inside with a zipper. Ooh, I already put a sticker in there for the lucky recipient, as well as a button. So, the lucky winner will get all of those things, and now to draw the name. So, many of you did answer this question. I felt like there was a good number of people. My way of drawing these names is I wait for a name to just kind of hop out of the hat. I make sure all of the little pieces of paper are bouncing around in there, and if any of them get stuck, I pop them loose, and I've got 2 names that fell out. So this has never happened to me before. So my thinking is I need to put them back in because I only have one. And that's the one that I'm giving away for that prompt. So whoever these were, nobody knows because I can't see that. Can you see through that? I don't know who's in it. So maybe it was meant to be, maybe it wasn't, but if it pops out again, we'll know. Oh my gosh, now they're all stuck in there. I think I hit it too hard because they were stuck, and I got one. This time one fell out. Let's see who it is. It is the Whitmore 6. Can you read that? I don't know if you can read that. The Whitmore 6. This is someone who has recently started commenting on a lot of my things, so I don't know your actual name. I don't know if it is Whitmore or if it is something else. But please email me and let me know where I can send this. Now, just for clarification on this, I mail these to the US and Canada. Canada's a little more pricey than the US, and the US recently has gone up for their holiday rates. Anybody who is in Europe or anywhere outside of the US and Canada, I will offer you a pattern up to $10, and we'll redraw a name for the bag because I've got to give this to someone. Anyhow, those are the rules with my Sandy bag giveaways, and congratulations, Whitmore 6. Congratulations to the Whitmore 6. I hope all 6 of you enjoy the bag. Or whoever you are. I don't think you've shared your first name with me, so I apologize for calling you the Whitmore 6. I'm sure it's just an individual. Anyhow, here is another Sandy bag. And I thought I'd go with a very fall looking bag. And because I thought this is most likely the last episode that is officially in the fall. When does winter begin? I guess it's mid-December. It's probably not the last, but here we are, end of fall. Time to get these fall bags out there. So, your prompt to answer for me is, what do you think of the lighting? Do I need more light in my episodes? Does it bother you to see that somebody's using unnatural light? I am right now I'm using daylight, and generally speaking, I prefer to record with the daylight on me. So do you even think about it when you're watching? Does it bother you that somebody is not in the best lighting? I don't know how good the lighting is for this. It's really kind of hard to see that actually says PandemicKnittr on it. But it does have the same details of the other bags that I've got. It is a nice big tote bag, and it'll go to the lucky winner that I draw on my next episode, where I will draw from the names who answer that question. Okay, I feel like we're moving along. We're moving along well. I didn't expect it to go this quickly. I felt like I was probably going to go on some more tangents, and I have not. Somehow, I've stuck to the point of everything. I've gotten through, I think, all of my works in progress. Oh, I do have one. Oh, no, I don't. Not yet. I've noticed that I tend to go from one thought right into another with no pauses in between, which makes it very hard for me to edit my videos sometimes. So, I apologize for that. If you see jump cuts, it's because I can't stop talking. Anyhow, I've got a new work in progress that you haven't seen before unless you've been on the Ravelry group, which is the Holly Jolly Make-Along by the Chit Chat Knits group. I did just post in there, I think it was last night. And so I have started this sweater. It is all Centrum yarns in their 3-ply, and the colorways are grass, brown, and cerise light. So this is Fjellerain by Sasky & Co. Let me try to make sure that my needles don't fall out. So I am doing a color work Christmas knit. I am just loving this color work. This is so much fun. I did not think that I was going to love these colors together as much as I do. Seeing them in person, it is way better than I thought. Here's my always thing that I get into is gauge. I did not get gauge on this because I used a worsted weight yarn when the pattern called for a DK. So the pattern calls for 22 stitches over 4 inches. I am getting about 19, but I was getting 22 when I first started because I used the needle size called for in the pattern, which is probably not the best idea when you're not using the yarn size called for in the pattern. So I started with a size 4 needle for the ribbing. And then I think up until maybe around, well, no, I think when I started the color work, I went up to a 6. And then as I continued on, I did see that my gauge was opening up some, but then I thought I really should go up to a size 8 needle for this size yarn in this color work. So within the last couple of rows, I don't know if you can see a difference in my gauge, but I do think it's sort of a little puckery up here. And I even thought, maybe I should be ripping this back. I don't know if this is going to fit. I had decided to go down to the smallest size in the pattern because of my gauge being off. Here, let me just throw this over my head so you can see what it looks like. So if you look at the picture in the pattern, which should be probably on the screen here, this mock turtleneck looking part is not mock turtleneck on her. It is actually more of a, like a crew neck kind of thing. So mine, I don't know, maybe once I block it, it'll relax out because this is a non-superwash yarn. So I'm wondering how much it'll bloom in the blocking process. So my thought was just keep going. Once I get to splitting for sleeves, is that what you call this? Joining under the arm. Joining under the arm. Then I will decide if I've got the right size or not. When I join under the arms, I will block it out, try it on, see if I like it. If I don't, the whole thing gets frogged and I start over again. And I'm okay with that because really this does go quickly as a worsted weight thing. And I will be excited to have this come Christmas time. Speaking of which, it came to my attention that there is a sweater that I was wearing last Christmas around this time that I never finished. So there was color work at the end of the sleeves that I didn't do. So I'm going to need to go back and revisit that one. So hopefully by the next episode, I'll be talking about that. The last work in progress that I want to talk about is last weekend, Colleen, Selfish Knitter, and I, we went up to Wisconsin, and this is, I was wondering where some of this stuff was. Okay, we went up to Wisconsin, and we hung out together, did some knitting, and we took some pictures by a frog statue that was on a bench on the street in, what was the name of the town? Cedarburg, Wisconsin. It's a nice little town, a lot of shopping and stuff like that. I got to buy some candy. My husband was thrilled about that. And we both brought this lovely project. What is this? I wrote it down. Flutterbutt shirt by Jessie Made Designs. Now, I had decided to make mine a V-neck, so I did that modification on this. And the last time I talked about this, I think I mentioned that it is longer than I would like it to be at the point that you join on the ruffle. So this happened because of blocking. This yarn is a slub yarn, which is really not fun to frog. It doesn't easily come undone. The slubs make it way more difficult to just pull it out. But the consultation with the frog statue kind of made it to where, it's time. It's time to say goodbye to this. It's time to make some decisions about this. And I do believe this will be fully frogged. I'm so indecisive, you guys. I think it's such a cute top. I don't like the way the ruffle works with my body shape. I may come back to it next summer and do something else, but I'm fairly certain its time has come. So that's where I'm at with that. On to new to me. So, new to me. You guys know Lori of Travel Lori on Instagram. She also goes as Travel Knits on Ravelry. She is a pattern designer. She's got a few patterns, but she sent me some things. We had met at Wisconsin Sheep and Wool, and she said that she bought, I'm going to try to find this pin. Here it is. Okay, Lori sent me all of these minis. Isn't that the sweetest thing? I am so excited to start something with this. I don't know what, but I think it would make a really great cowl. And I'm even thinking I might use one of her patterns. I don't know. And this goes very well with this color. So who knows? Maybe, no. That yarn, no. anyhow, but it goes well with my jacket too. So this will be something, I don't know what. And then she also knit this. I don't know what this yarn is, but it is a lovely red, white, and blue, which is perfect. Love that. And I don't know if you can see this motif here. Am I holding it? Yeah, I'm holding it the right way. This, I am fairly certain, this is the Tannenbaum cowl by Liz Clothier. So I don't know if you've seen this one on Ravelry, but I love this cowl. I love this. I could wear this wherever, whenever. It would be nice to warm up around 4th of July if I'm in an air-conditioned restaurant, or just any time of the year. So super cute. Thank you, Lori. There was a pin too. I don't know. Oh, it's inside this yarn cozy that she also sent me. So this is a cute little Christmas yarn cozy. So that will be good for some sock knitting. And then she also got me this pin that she said she bought at Wisconsin Sheep and Wool from Kaleidoscope. So Yarn Chicken Champion. I have been that. I have been Yarn Chicken Champion at times. Not always. I have lost at times too. So that came from Lori. Thank you so much, Lori. That was so kind of you to share these things with me. Especially a hand knit item. That's amazing. Thank you, Lori. Then my other new to me is from my Take a Hike club from the Sheepishire. And this is, I'm going to have to get my glasses on because I did not write it down in my show notes, but staple sock. I did not need glasses for staple sock. It is so huge on there. But staple sock in their Take a Hike series. And I will put on the screen the picture that inspired this colorway. I think it matches it perfectly. I think the funny thing is, when I saw the picture, I didn't notice the purplish colorways, or purplish hues, I should say, in the landscape. But like, you can really see the purple in the sock. And then when I compared the purple in the sock, in the yarn, when I compared the picture to the yarn, I was like, oh yeah, there really is purple in that landscape. And I was kind of blown away by that. I'm like, oh, I never would have picked up on that. To me, like the overall, I feel like I see big pictures as opposed to details more often. And so I kind of have to drill down to the details. Whereas I think other people see the details and get bogged down in the details and not see the big picture. It's funny. I'm thinking of a specific person in my life that, like, sometimes I'll have conversations with them and be like, no, get out of the details, see the big picture. So anyway, interesting that landscapes have purple. Who knew? Who knew that that was a natural color outside of flowers? Not me. So, you guys, that's everything for today. Because I recorded this in pieces, I don't know how much actual time I recorded, but I think I did that in a decent amount of time. So I'm happy with that. I didn't go on too many tangents. Did I? Anyhow, comment below if you think I did. Tell me whatever you want. I'm open to hearing it. So with that being said, remember to like, subscribe, survive, and thrive. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.